Hey guys, this is John here in Los Angeles with the Alpha Channel update for Monday, June 17th, 2024. And today we've got Conan the Barbarian number 110, Beware the Bear of Heaven. John Buscema and Roy Thomas, these guys have been going at it for a while now. I do not have that many issues of the first 100. I think you've only got about 20, less than that, less than 20. I've already gone through what I've got. Here's the first page and the cover. Notice how much better the first interior page is than the cover. The bear on the cover looks rushed. It does. It looks rushed compared to this first page. Look at that. That bear looks real. This bear looks... This cover did not get the same love and attention that the interior got. And I don't know how these guys are putting out this book month after month after month. The writing in this one, look, Roy Thomas has some very good qualities as a writer. Pacing and plot are not one of them. Character and theme are amazing. He does a great job at the character's voice. But here we have Conan fighting a bear on the first page, the splash page on the first page. He discovers that the bear is not real, but then it knocks him out, and he wakes up bound in trust and being carried along upside down like Han Solo and Luke in Return of the Jedi when the Ewoks catch him. So this is that bit, and he stays like this for 3 pages. For 3 pages, we see everywhere they carry Conan through, and I think it's even longer than that. He's in the village. He's in some village of little people, of midgets. Here we go. He's still upside down. 5 pages, and now Conan is before the midget king in the palace ballroom, brought in there by these Aesir, who have sold out their own people to work for the midgets. And the midget storyline is not the little people, the Lilliputtons, you know, we represent the Lollipop Gang. That story is not developed at all. That plot line really falls flat. There's some opportunities for some crazy stuff in here. You see this guy with the ears? He's in the book earlier too. So yeah, look at this guy with the big mustache and the giant sort of rabbit or / deer ears. So this guy up here in the corner, everything about these little people, they worship bears. These are supposed to be bear ears. Like I said, this story is just odd. It's really strangely written. It's paced poorly. I don't think John Buscema really objected to Roy Thomas's scripts much. He made these scripts amazing. Without John Buscema, Roy Thomas's writing is garbage. John Buscema makes every page a masterpiece. It doesn't matter what happens because he's drawing it. If this had been a less skilled artist, this is just, it's really, really weird. It's weird in a way that could have been capitalized on more. And I can only think that they're exhausted and overworked. Here's Conan fighting the bear, and the only weapon he has is a chain. And in so much as that, the cover does represent what happens, but the cover is not anywhere near as well drawn as the interior. So it's just absurd. So Conan's been taken prisoner to this midget castle where he has to fight for the king. And there's this big blonde girl here who also she wants Conan and she doesn't want to be with the midgets anymore. And then there's this leopard that attacks Conan. He's not really a leopard. He's really a guy who was the guy who was carrying Conan earlier. This bit where he's being carried through all the village and all the midget, like the people don't even have to be midgets. It plays absolutely no role in the story. It's just some weird art, weird characters to have for art. And I don't get why they did it. Like I said, they've got Conan tied upside down for 5 pages here. Then they have this bit where these characters come in and they're not really seen again. This character here is Conan's sort of a accomplice or sidekick for this one, and he's a wizard who Conan wouldn't be sidekicking with a wizard. Here he has him painting spells in the sand. I know I'm not explaining this really well, but like I said, this comic really doesn't, the images flow together and you know what's next. It's not bad that way. It just doesn't make sense. Here's Conan fighting the bear and his only weapon is a chain and he snaps the bear's spine. He gives the bear a bear hug, gets his back ripped up, but snaps the bear's spine with a bear hug, with a chain. Like, I'm sorry, that just doesn't make sense. And then he falls asleep, and then there's this girl she wants him to make her his slave. Again, the art is amazing. Oh, here's one thing that's super cool. Okay, this page right here, this Thor comic, this one-page Thor comic, Thor is fighting a ricochet demon or robot or monster, a ricochet monster, and everything he throws at it bounces back at him. So Thor's solution down here at the bottom, oh, I'll throw something you won't throw back. Hostess fruit pies. So Thor feeds this monster a bunch of fruit pies to defeat him, which honestly, other than John Buscema's art, that's kind of the best thing about this comic. This comic is well drawn, but not well written. I don't know who was in charge. They weren't paying attention to what these guys were doing at this point. You know, I never read the color comics. I was really a Savage Sword fan. The color comics were too expensive. Not when I have a lot of color Conan from way later, but the early stuff, the first 100 issues, I could only get that in like trade paperbacks or, you know, however you could find it. I didn't collect a lot of those when I was younger, and the ones I bought, I didn't spend a lot of time reading. I have a ton of Savage Sword that I read, which is really good, but that's all black and white, and I'm going to save that. I kind of don't want to show that here. I want to save this channel for colored comics, and I want to read one every day. That's kind of my goal. Because this is helping me solidify the ideals for what I want to do for this brand, for Alpha Channel. And I like the idea of Alpha Channel ideals. Like, they're deals you make with yourself. iDeals, deals you make with yourself, which is pretty cool. So, the most important thing when it comes to all of this stuff, when it comes to writing and fiction, is that if your values aren't correct, this is idea farming, right? Like, you're coming up with ideas and then you evaluate them to see which ones you want to pursue and which ones you don't. In this book, they did not do a very good job of weeding out the weeds from the fruit and the vegetables. This is mostly weeds, but with really good art, very pretty weeds, colorful wildflowers. And so if your values, there's technical values and then moral values, and both of those have to work together. There's nothing wrong with the moral values in this one. It's the technical plot values, the pacing that was off. But the character was right, the theme is right. You know what else Conan doesn't have? He has a very thin cast of supporting characters. Most of the characters come in and get killed almost immediately, sometimes within pages, let alone within issues. So he doesn't have a rogues gallery, and he doesn't have a bunch of friends either who make continuous appearances. It's basically Bellet and Red Sonja. There's a couple, you know, I think Zuma, one of the black guys, one of the black corsairs is named Magoro, and he's kind of a regular. But I think even Tarzan has a thicker cast of characters for recurring characters in his books. So that's one thing that Conan was always a little bit thin on, and they didn't chase that with the plots that they wrote. So little things like that. That's a technical mistake as opposed to a value mistake, which I think what we see nowadays going wrong is the people creating media, entertainment media, don't have a good sense of what's right and what's wrong. And so they don't know how to portray sympathetic characters to a cohesive audience. There's not really a cohesive audience either anymore. It doesn't mean that people's opinions of right and wrong have changed. They're still helping people and bullying people. And as long as you keep it that simple, it's really easy. So yeah, Conan the Barbarian, number 110. John Buscema and Roy Thomas. So we still have our Wildwood Tarot card for today, and this is the box and the book. Today's a really nice one. It's called The Forest Lovers. It's really kind of Robin Hood and Maid Marian, you know? Robin Hood in the red cloak like the Disney fox, and Maid Marian dressed in green and white and gold. This is a really good card. I really like this one. Basically, that's the reason I'm here, reading a comic book a day to you guys, and promoting my stuff. This is a comic I did years ago with a friend of mine, Ashley Fox, Ninja Babysitter. It's just in black and white. You can download the PDF on our website. I did the writing. I actually didn't even do that much of the writing. The writing was mostly my friend Jay, because as an artist, he really just took the freedom to do the work. And, you know, you got to respect an artist who does that. So this is an amazing, amazing book. It has some issues. You guys can check it out on our website, ashleyfox.ninja. It's a downloadable PDF. I think it needs to be done for how dark it is. I think it needs a color pass, which takes some time and some effort. I think we have the first 6 pages in color almost, but then those files got lost. So yeah, ashleyfox.ninja. I don't know what else I want to promote to you guys today. Just, you know, do good work. I am kind of condensing sort of like that, like I was saying earlier, the alpha channel ideals. One, a clean conscience is the most important thing in the world. It's the most expensive thing in the world, and it's priceless. Don't let it go for anything. You can always get it back. You just admit your faults and do better, and that's all it takes. And then the second one is the art of good art is making art with no money. The more you can do with the least amount of money, and this goes right back to the next thing I want to say. To really have something, you need to give it away. The more you can give something away, the more it comes back to you, whether that's art or music or experience, whatever it is. Like if you are so in love with comics that you give them away all the time, people are going to know you as the comic book guy, and they're going to bring you all their comic book ideas or where they come across something that they're into. You know what I mean? That's how the world works. So whatever you love, give it away. Give it away. Give it to everyone. Share it with everybody. Don't hold on to things. Don't clutch on to things. Your last suit has no pockets, as they like to say. I've heard before. So yeah, find some ideals. Oh, there's one more I wanted to say that's really good, and I'm spacing on it, besides art being cheap. Okay, so alpha channel ideals. I want to have 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 of them that are really important. 1, the art of art is making good art with no money. So the cheaper you can make your art, the better it will be, the happier you'll be about it. 2, if you really want something, give it away. If you love comics and you love art and you love fiction, find a way to give it away to people, find a way to share it with people. That's crucial. 3, a clear conscience is the most expensive thing in the world. You want that, get that. But then here's the big one. When you're producing art and you're inspired, it's easy and you don't give yourself a deadline and it's the only thing you want to do and it takes as long as it takes. But when you're producing it for a living, like let's say you get your character out there, you've got a successful franchise, now it's an IP, you have your Calvin and Hobbes, your Batman, your Superman, whatever, but now you have to produce it every day. And it's a grind, and you get writer's block, and you get burnt out, and you get frustrated. Where do you find the inspiration to keep going? There's a few different places. Roy Thomas, watching these guys search for it and not find it is really helpful to me as a writer because it lets me I'm taking notes, obviously, but the important thing is, this is something I realized. When you run out of inspiration, go to nature. Do not go to agenda-driven propaganda. I say our, but I don't know that we're even on the same team. If you go to agenda-driven propaganda, whatever side you're on, it's going to come across as false. It's going to come across as fake and preachy, and nobody wants that, and you won't enjoy it, and the audience won't enjoy it. Find a way to draw inspiration from nature, and everyone will be happy. You can't go wrong drawing inspiration from nature. So that's, alpha channel ideals. What are your ideals? How can you do idea farming if you don't know your ideals? How can you get to heaven if you don't know your prayers? All right, see you guys.